Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the first workshop of the all-new Log360 workshop series. My name is Niyati and I am a product specialist with ManageEngine's IT Security Solutions team. This workshop series has a completely upgraded agenda. We have included all of our latest features. So we are going to have an in-depth look at the various features of Log360 over the course of this series. In today's workshop, I'll give you all a quick overview of Log360 and then we can look at how the solution can help mitigate both internal and external threats to your network. So before I proceed, I would just like to check that everyone can hear the audio clearly and can see my shared screen. If there is any issue, do let us know using the live chat option and we'll look into fixing that for you. Okay, it looks like there are no issues. So just a quick note, once this workshop is done, we will be sending the video recording across to you in an email. So let's proceed with today's workshop. So like I said, I'm going to be giving you a quick overview of Log360. So I'm going to talk to you about what the product is and and the components that make it up. So we are also going to look into how you can mitigate threats to your network, both externally and internally, using the two main components of Log360. So first up, what is Log360? Log360 is one of our more recent products and it is a complete integration of two of our existing products, EventLog Analyzer and AD Audit Plus. The AD Audit Plus component provides in-depth auditing of your organization's Active Directory environment and thus serves as an excellent way to monitor user activity and discover any internal threats. The EventLog Analyzer component, on the other hand, manages and reports on your entire network. So it includes all of your servers, applications, and network devices such as your routers, switches, firewalls, and more. So, in short, Log360 is a comprehensive SIEM solution for your network as it allows you to audit network and user activity and it can help you mitigate both internal and external threats. As we will see it in today's workshop, it helps you monitor file changes. So if there are any unauthorized changes to your critical files and resources, you're going to find out about it. And of course, it helps you ensure compliance, be it with your internal company policies or any mandates by regulatory bodies. So all of this makes Log360 a great tool to be used in any security operation center. So first, I'll talk to you a little bit about threat mitigation on the whole with Log360. So if I say the word attack, most of us would instinctively think of some bad guy outside the boundary of our organization trying to get in, trying to disrupt our network. So this is the case with all of the ransomware attacks that have been terrorizing companies around the world of late. So the WannaCry attack that happened last year, it's an example of an external attack wherein an attacker who's outside your organization is trying to breach your network resources and lock them down. So this is what EventLog Analyzer does. It helps you mitigate external threats to your network. Now, on the other hand, many of us tend to underestimate or even neglect the threat that our own employees pose. You may never know if an employee holds malicious intent and wishes to breach your network. So you see even giants such as Google and Uber involved in disputes that occur due to malicious employee action. So this is what ADAudit Plus does. It helps you monitor all your internal network resources. I mean, it helps you monitor your AD environment and keep a check on all of your users. Another important point to consider about threats is the time taken to detect them. Many organizations face advanced persistent threats wherein an attacker doesn't really wish to disrupt your network resources but instead gains access and resides quietly within your network, stealing important data over time. So organizations could take months to discover such threats. So Log360 helps you in all of this by constantly monitoring your network, picking out any suspicious activity and alerting you at once about it. So let's go on and look at the Log360 dashboard. So this is just a quick screenshot I have for you over here. Okay, so it looks like there is an issue looking at the shared screen. Let me just try fixing that for you. Okay, so I hope that everyone can see the screen right now. Please let me know if there are any more issues so that I can fix it again. I hope that uh, the screen is visible to everyone right now. Do let me know if it isn't. Okay, so a quick recap. I just gave you an introduction about Log360. I spoke to you about the agenda for today's workshop, and I just gave you an introduction about threat mitigation using Log360. So, moving on, this is the main Log360 dashboard. As you can see, there is an integrated dashboard which shows you the main information from your Active Directory environment as well as all your network resources such as your uh, firewalls, routers, and other network resources. So I'll be showing you more about the product a little later on. So before that, I just like to mention a quick note, talk to you a little bit quickly about the configuration and licensing for Log360. So at ManageEngine, we believe in simplifying IT management. So we always aim at providing really quick and simple deployments and configurations. So in Log360, configurations are synchronized across the two components, which is to say, if you add a domain for monitoring on one component, it is automatically synchronized onto the other component as well. So when it comes to licensing, you purchase a license for each component as per your individual AD auditing requirements and network monitoring requirements. And of course, you can only purchase a license for a single component, and if that is what you require, and you can access the functionality only for that component. So basically, it's really simple. You only pay for what you require, and you only pay for what you need. So next, let's talk about the actual threat mitigation part with Log360. So first up, we'll talk about mitigating external attacks using the EventLog Analyzer component. So, the first aspect of external threat mitigation is threat intelligence. Threat intelligence is a pretty essential feature for any SIEM. If you're wondering why, let me ask you, how do you detect an intruder? You may say, look for someone who acts suspiciously. So you have to monitor behaviors and activities. And if you see someone doing something fishy, you know it's time to investigate them. So this is a great approach, of course, and our product helps you do this as well. But what if that intruder was already known to be malicious by someone else? Wouldn't it have been much more simple and much more efficient if you had investigated them the second they tried entering your network? This is exactly what threat intelligence is. You can think of it as a sort of virtual most wanted list. So Log360 integrates with a global IP threat database that contains millions of IP addresses known to be malicious. Further, Log360 also processes the latest threat information from some highly prominent Stix and Taxi threat feeds. For those of you who aren't sure what these are, Stix and Taxi are basically global standards that are used to represent and communicate threat information. And of course, since they are global standards which are being used by more and more companies these days, these threat feeds have the most up to date and reliable threat information. So Log360 has access to this information and can keep a lookout for intruders from any corner of the world. So it helps you instantly detect malicious IPs or malicious domains or URLs from anywhere in the world. So the instant any of them interact with your network anywhere, you get notified in real time and you can potentially stop an attack before it even starts. The best part is this feature is pre-configured. So you absolutely have no configurations to set up. The second you set up the product, the feature is up and running as well. So I'll just show you where you can access this feature. So this is the EventLog Analyzer component. Simply go over to the Alerts tab. So as you can see, now the Alerts tab basically gives you all the alerts that you have received over time. You can always adjust the time over here. But I am talking to you right now about the default thread. So the default thread profile, which you will find over here under profile based alerts, is basically the alerts that you receive from threat feeds. So when any malicious IP or URL is detected in your network, you get an alert instantly via email or SMS. And if you want to look at them on the product, you can just navigate to alerts, click on profile based alert, default threat, and you have all the information over here. So that was to do with threat intelligence. Now let's talk about other types of threat detection. So looking at an IP address or malicious or URL and correlating it with known malicious sources is of course a great first step. So it can, because it can save a lot of time. But this is only the first test and it doesn't stop there. Threats can come from anywhere and anyone at any time. So it is important, like I spoke about before, to continuously monitor your network activity and look for anything suspicious. So Log360 does this, and whenever it discovers something suspicious, it alerts you in real time, as I've just told you. But the question is, what comes next. The first course of action when you receive any alert would be to investigate. And when you wish to investigate, the best evidence that you can look at is the log trail. So you can use EventLog Analyzer's search feature for this. The search engine is a really powerful one based on Elasticsearch, which gives you the capability to drill down millions of logs to just a few which you need within a few short seconds. And even if you don't have any alert to work with, you can simply use the search engine to build complex queries to identify any events that you wish to. So let me just show you a quick example. So when you wish to perform a search, you can simply come over to the search tab of the product, where you can search through all the logs that have been collected by EventLog Analyzer. So the first step when you would like to perform a search is to set a date range within which you would like to perform your search. So I'm just going to select the last 30 days. So as you can see, within a few short seconds, I have a report which talks to me about over a million logs that have been collected in the last 1 month. So, of course, I'm not going to be, it's really impossible to go through these million logs manually, but I can use EventLog Analyzer to build certain search queries to find the information that I need. So once I've selected the date range, you can also specify which devices you would like to search the logs of by using the pick device option. You can specify the types of logs you want to restrict your search to. And finally, you can type in a search query in the search box over here. Now, we offer two modes of search, the basic and advanced. The advanced search mode basically gives you a graphical interface which allows you to build a search query by clicking on specific log fields, and you can group them as you wish. You can specify the values that you would like to search for, change the logical operator, and run your search. And of course, the basic mode is one which gives you a little more flexibility because you can type in the search query on your own and build it to be as simple or as complex as you like. And as you start typing a field name, it instantly gives you suggestions which you can click on so that you can directly enter the value over here. And another really interesting feature that we have for you is the click-based search feature. So here we have a million logs, and as I told you, we can use the search feature to drill down all of these logs and find the information that we need. So within these million logs, let's say I would like to know about the values for the severity field. So simply click on severity on any log and you immediately get a report of the various values for severity. So let's say now most of my logs over here are success logs, so I'm not too concerned about them. So let's say I would like to investigate all the warnings that I've received in the last 1 month. So as you can see, the search query is automatically built based on the value that I have clicked in the search report. So I have about 1,000 warning logs. So let's say I'd now like to find out which devices these warning logs are coming from. So I just click on device and I immediately see that these three machines are generating the warning logs that I'm looking into. So Let's say I want to investigate this specific Windows server over here. So you can see within a few short clicks, I have drilled down over 1 million logs to just about 200. So if I wish to know which applications or services are generating these warnings, I can simply click on source, and now I once again have a finite list of where my warning messages are coming from. So for all these reports, you can simply directly export them into a PDF or CSV file, or I can again drill it down and find out the details of the specific warnings that are being generated. So this was about how you use EventLog Analyzer to build complex search queries. So the final aspect of in threat mitigation is incident management. So to tell you quickly about what incident management is and why it is important, it's basically a bridge between incident detection and response. So all organizations would be making use of incident detection systems, and they would have their strategies and tools in place to fight any security incident that comes up. But how do you ensure a smooth information flow between these two? So you can make use of incident management tools to bridge these two separate aspects. So anytime a security incident is detected, you would like a quick way to raise all these security incidents as tickets, assign them to a specific employee or agent in your organization, and you would like to track their status and of course resolve them once they are looked into. So this is what EventLog Analyzer has an inbuilt incident management console. We actually looked at it a few minutes ago, but I'll give you an in-depth look again. It has an inbuilt incident management console, and it also allows you to forward security incidents to external help desk software like Service Desk Plus and ServiceNow. So again, you will find the incident management console under the alerts tab. So you can see details of all the security incidents that have been raised over time. And if you wish, you can. So now that you would, so let's say I want to manage this specific alert or security incident. So all I have to do is click on update. I can assign it to any user. I can update any relevant information using the notes text box here. And of course, I can track the status by marking it as an open ticket or in progress, or once it's resolved, I can close it. And of course, on the left, you will see several views. So the all alerts view gives you an overview of all the alerts that have been received. My alerts shows you the alerts that have been assigned to you, specifically the logged in user. And assigned and unassigned separates the alerts that have been assigned or not have not been assigned yet. And critical alerts shows you the more important alerts that you need to look into. I have a question about account lockout alerts. I wasn't planning to show you that in today's workshop, but I can show you where you can find it. So that will be coming a little later on in the workshop. Okay, so this was the incident management module, which you will find under EventLog Analyzer. So then that was about mitigating external attacks. Now let's move on and talk about mitigating internal attacks using the AD Audit Plus component. Sorry. So basically, we are going to look at how we bring in the user context of Active Directory to your network auditing. And we've already spoken about the importance of looking out for insider threats. So the AD Audit Plus component of Log360 provides you with in-depth, real-time AD auditing, as I'll be showing you in a bit. You can instantly track events such as unauthorized logons or privileged user activity, accesses to critical resources, and more. Or you can, like, let's say, you can look at changes to group policies, which have their effect on multiple users and computers. And as we just spoke about, we can look at tracking account lockouts as well. Such events could have serious consequences on your network and impact its security, which is what makes AD auditing so important. Now, AD Audit Plus provides a vast number of predefined reports covering several important and noteworthy events, as I've just mentioned. You can also be notified in real time to specific events as you require. So, this empowers you to be proactive and ensure that it's really tough to attack your network. So, I'll give you a quick look at the product now. So, this is the main AD Audit Plus dashboard. As you can see, it collates information from the main information from your Active Directory environment, and it provides you several widgets that give you an overview of all the important information that you need to know about. So let's just start looking at the various reports that we provide. Now there are basically two levels of classification for the reports. So as you can see on the left side, we have a finer level of classification, which just groups all the reports into finer groups such as user logon reports or OU reports and more. And on the top menu over here, we have a higher level of classification, which gives you reports based on broader themes, such as compliance. So, keeping a check on internal threats and monitoring your AD environment are a very important part of compliance. So, not staying compliant could cause you heavy fines at the very least, or even serious legal implications. So, let's say I want to look at a specific report. Why don't we look at the lockout report? So this is the report that gives you the information of all the accounts that have been locked out. If you'd like to adjust the period, you can simply click on this calendar widget over here and select the time period that you're interested in. You can see that we have a really neat and clean report that gives you a graphical representation of the information as well as a tabular column. So basically you have everything that you need to know at a quick glance. So if you wish to search within the report, you can do that as well using the search feature. If you want to search for a specific field, you can simply type into this text box here. So basically, we have a lot of cool features. So if you want to add or remove information from the report, you can use the add or remove columns button. You can simply click or select or deselect the information as required. So let's look at some other reports. So let's say you want to look at user accounts that have been created recently. So this report gives you the information about user accounts that have been created in the last 1 month. But as you can see, there are no user accounts that have been created recently. You can always adjust the time period as I told you, and it will give you the information needed. So now that we have seen how you can track various important AD changes, I'd like to show you now how you can monitor unauthorized changes to to critical resources using the file audit feature. So simply click on the file audit tab and you have an overview of all the important changes that have been made to your critical files and folders in the recent times. So if you want more specific information, you can just click on the relevant report using the menu over here. So say I want to look at the user-based reports. Maybe I want to know information about the files that have been deleted recently. So I can even type in a custom time period over here. So this is the information on all the files and folders that have been deleted in the last 30 days. So the final functionality that I would like to show you in AD Audit Plus is privileged user monitoring. So we all know that administrators hold quite a bit of power over their respective network and its settings and configurations. So it is thus that much more extra important to always keep a check on administrator actions, as these can have a network-wide impact. So if you'd like to know about the most recent administrative user actions, simply go over to Account Management and select the Administrator User Actions report. So you can see that this report is classified among the various AD objects such as users, computers, OUs, and more. So you can just select the information that you need. You can select the tab that you need. You can select which users you need to monitor by clicking on this button over here. Simply search through this list and select the users that you require to monitor. And then you have a simple report that gives you an overview of administrative actions. So that's about it for today's workshop. If you have any questions, we will be answering them now. So please let us know any questions that you have.